All right, well, welcome back to Maverick Performance Golf. Today we're going to be talking about kind of the fundamentals of hitting out of what most people think one of the worst shots in golf, a bunker shot. But if you do a lot of the things we're going to talk about today, I promise that you will enjoy them as much as I do, and I actually aim for them in some scenarios. Join us this week for Bunkers. All right, everybody, welcome back. We're back on the golf course, and we are actually in a bunker, as the title says. So before we get too far into this, we have a giveaway we're going to do. So stay tuned to the end of the video. We're going to announce the kind of how we're going to do the giveaway. We're going to go for a couple of weeks with getting entries. Stay tuned to the very end to hear what the giveaway is going to be. But for now, we're going to let's talk about bunkers and bunker shots. So fundamentally, most people don't really understand what happens at impact in a bunker shot. So most people chip out of it. I've seen some people putt out of it. You know, a lot of people do different things in the bunker, but fundamentally what's happening is when you hit a bunker shot, you're actually grounding the club prior to the golf ball. And when you hit that sand and that sand comes up, it's what propels the golf ball out. So what it becomes is a question of loft. Now we're in a greenside bunker. There's a lot of different kind of bunkers. In fact, in the foreground, you can probably see a few other greenside bunkers back there, plus the green that's being rolled, the par 3, the next hole over there. But if I look backwards, there's a bunker. So I'm not that far away from the green, but there's a bunker over to my right, y'all's left, and there's another one further down. So the further away you get, you have to think about those lofts. So we're only gonna talk about greenside bunkers today because that's what we're gonna focus on. We're gonna master this, and then we can take what we learn here to those other bunkers. But the first thing you have to do is understand which club am I trying to hit. So what I tell people is either my 56 or my 55 in my case, or a 54, but your sand wedge and a lob wedge are really going to be those two options. Now I have my 58 degree because of how close we are. So the idea here is I want to try and get this up high and land it soft. I don't have a lot of green to work with. This bunker, the way it's looking, if you're seeing from the forward camera, slopes a little bit from back to front, and then the green slopes away from me. So not a lot of stop. If this was sloped the other direction, I could put more spin on the golf ball. And if the green was level or even tilted from back to front towards me, then I could get away with a little more because it's going to stop a little bit easier. When we start talking about how to hit this bunker shot, you know, one of the first things I tell people is it's so important to talk about stand. The idea is that you want to hit 2 to 3 inches behind the golf ball. So more times than not, what I personally see with people miss-hit bunker shots, they either hit a lot of sand and they decelerate, or they catch all golf ball, which means they either stay in the sand because it went to right there and rolled back in, or it just barely gets out. Now they've got a bad rough shot, or they hit the golf ball and it flies, you know, 40 yards past the green, possibly into another bunker. So there's a drill that'll help with that, and we will talk about that at the very end of the video. But for right now, we're going to go back to what we were just talking about with loft. So again, I want to hit the ball high in this scenario, but maybe I have to carry that. Maybe that pin's a little further back and I need a little bit more distance. You know, essentially I would just take a 56 degree or a sand wedge and hit that instead of my lob wedge to take some of that off, which means it's going to go just a little bit further. So it's a lot like if you took the same chip over and over at the same tempo, same everything, and the only thing you could adjust was going to be the golf club. So that's kind of the same idea here I want you to work with. Again, we don't necessarily teach what the professionals do. They hit a ton of shots. I'm talking to the amateurs of the world, okay? So in that scenario, I don't want you to have to worry about having 15 different bunker swings. We just want one. Now let's say we want to get this as high as we possibly can. Something that's going to help us out when we set up, right, is to open that club face up. Well, when you open that club face up, you have to remember two things. One, if I'm taking direct aim at that bunker and that's what I look like and I open it up, I'm now aimed over there. So I have to adjust or open my stance to compensate. Okay, so I'm going to open that stance up to match however. So if I open my, you know me, I'm a TrackMan, I like to be analytical. So let's say I'm square there and I open it 15 degrees to the right. I want to open my left foot and have my stance to go 15 degrees to the left. So you just want it to be a mirror image of it, almost like if it was an opening door in a mirror, right? It looks like it gets wider on the other side, same thing. So, and then we just do that until our club face is now aimed at our target. Now this is the important part. In a bunker, you still have to hit down on the golf ball. You still have to be going down through the sand. The difference is, versus a fairway shot or turf, is that the sand's gonna give and then propel upward from the face of the golf club. That's gonna eject the golf ball out. That sand is coming down and being pushed back up by the golf club. You're creating loft and spin that way. So again, it's a very different way of looking at that shot. So now we've got our stance, right? We're digging in. Another thing we're going to add into this too is right now the golf ball is in about the middle of my stance. Now, if you were in a completely level bunker or the very bottom of a bunker, not this one because I'm again sloping from back to front, you want to move that ball just up in your stance a few inches. Again, we've trained ourselves to hit the hopefully we've trained ourselves to hit the down on top of the golf ball when we're just hitting a regular 7-iron shot or a 3-iron shot or whatever it happens to be. And again, we want to hit this 2 to 3 inches behind. So by moving that golf ball up, we're going to take the same swing. I see a lot of people too take that club and they'll put it around the golf ball. That's not what we're trying to do, right? We want to hit behind it. So put the golf club, and again, don't ground the golf club, but when you line up, put it 2 or 3 inches behind. And then that way, when you swing, you think you're coming back to that spot, not the golf ball. That should help eliminate a lot of those different mishits that we have when we're actually swinging. Let's talk about some drills. So the first drill we're going to talk about is literally just, I call it a hit the line, right? So I'm going to draw a line in the sand, get that golf ball out of the way. So I've just got a line in the sand, right? Nothing fancy. All I'm going to do is hit that line. Now I don't want you hitting behind it, and I don't want you hitting way in front of it. I just want you to hit right on top of it. We're not trying to kill the golf ball by any means. We're just trying to hit that line and move it forward, okay? So that's called hit the line. That's gonna train your body and train your eye to hit down behind the golf ball. So after you've gotten pretty good at hitting the line, draw your line one more time, but this time take the butt of your golf club and about 2 to 3 inches in front, just push it in the ground. So these are essentially golf balls, okay? So now I've got a line with golf balls in front of it. So I'm gonna do the exact same thing I just did. Okay, I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna do this quite a few times. So on and so forth. I'm not gonna keep doing that because there's a lot of sand that's starting to pool up by the green. Now for the last part of that drill, again, shocker, we're coming back to our line, but this time what I want you to do is actually put a couple of golf balls down, okay? So now we got our line and we've got our golf balls, and we're just gonna hit that line with the golf ball in it. Okay, let's do that one more time. So we're hitting the line. Going. Whew, the last one almost went in. See how much more sand I took on that one? I just got steeper. Also, if you notice, I just clipped the line on both of those though. Let's pretend for a second that we have to carry this shot somewhere else, right? Maybe we're going to the back of the green, which I know you guys can't necessarily see. I want to fly it past my last golf ball out there. So all I'm going to do for setup differently to get more distance is, remember how we opened the club face and I opened my stance? We're not going to do that. We're going to take that same stance, but now I've got the golf club looking more like I'm going to hit a full swing shot with it, right? Same tempo, same everything. I'm just going to hit that line behind it. And you can see how much further that carried and rolled out, right? So again, we have our line. We put that golf ball down just a little in front of the line. Take a normal stance. And you can see how much further it rolled out there. All the way just on the other edge of that green. So it's not a matter of changing clubs or swinging harder when you're in a bunker. It's a matter of changing the circumstances, right? You've been with us long enough now, you know that we don't necessarily teach what works for tour professionals. We teach what'll work for amateurs. And this works for amateurs because you only have to have one bunker swing, and you change the circumstances around that swing to alter the golf ball and the performance of that golf ball. Well, there it is. There's Bunkers 101, if you may. So hopefully this helps you out. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave it in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. Hopefully after doing this, you'll get in and play in the bunker. Just like anything else in golf, you got to do this a lot. So find a practice bunker somewhere that you can sit down and just hit some shots out of and get used to it. All right. It is giveaway time. What we're giving away is we're giving away a 60-degree RTX Zip Core wedge from Cleveland. Not this one. This is my 58 that I play with out of the bunker. This is also the full face. But I have an extra 60-degree wedge. We're going to give that away. So how do you enter? You can either go to Maverick Performance Golf across the top. There's going to be a link that says giveaway. You just click on that. There's a form, fill it out. You do have to be subscribed to the YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram. And you can invite more people to get more entries. So you can only enter once, but please do me a favor. Go on there and do that. There also will be a link in the description below. It'll be the very first thing you see, giveaway information. There'll be a link, click that. It'll take you to our sweepstakes page, and that will is where you put your entry in to win this wedge. So if you live in the United States, I will ship this to you. If you are international and you would like to enter, this will also pop up on the screen for when you go to register. But if you are international, you are responsible for shipping. That's going to do it for us today. Remember, golf is fun. Put these skills to test and have more fun playing golf. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you out on the golf course.